services. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Muy buenos días a todos. Esta es su comparecencia inicial ante el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Mi nombre es Brad Gardner y yo soy un juez en este tribunal.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Yo estoy acá para informarle de cuáles son los cargos que se le han imputado,
to advise you of certain rights,
para decirle cuáles son sus derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
para otorgarle una fianza en aquellos delitos que estoy autorizado para otorgarle fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para programar una audiencia preliminar
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y para determinar si usted requiere la asistencia de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y no decir nada,
But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you.
pero si usted renuncia a este derecho, cualquier cosa que usted diga durante este proceso podría ser usada en su contra.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
O sea que por favor no hable de cómo ocurrieron los hechos en su caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights:
Durante este y todos los procesos siguientes, usted tiene los siguientes derechos:
to the presumption of innocence,
a la presunción de inocencia,
to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors,
a que se le formule una acusación por el gran jurado para la mayoría de los delitos graves o que se le formule una acusación por los delitos menores,
to a speedy and public trial by jury,
de tener un juicio público rápido y por jurado,
to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos que sean citados a testificar en su contra,
to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
de exigir que los testigos que vayan a testificar a su favor se presenten,
to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
de testificar a su favor y de presentar pruebas para ser usadas en su defensa,
to have an attorney represent you.
de tener un abogado para que los represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si usted no pudiera contratarse un abogado, se le podría nombrar uno si usted califica.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Alguno de ustedes se le va a permitir pagar una fianza sin restricciones para permitirle salir de la cárcel.
These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property.
Y estas fianzas podrían ser pagadas en efectivo, usando una compañía de fianza o usando una propiedad.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes van a tener condiciones especiales en su fianza donde se le prohíbe ponerse en contacto con ciertas personas o de que vayan a ciertos lugares.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
A usted también se le va a prohibir que se ponga en contacto con la víctima mientras usted esté encarcelado.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial.
Si usted infringe la orden del juez, su fianza podría ser revocada y usted podría permanecer encarcelado hasta que vaya a juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
Y también se le podrían imputar cargos adicionales por delitos graves.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante saber que si una persona está nombrada como la víctima en su caso, a esa persona no se le va a permitir pagar la fianza por usted.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes se le acusa de delitos por los cuales, por ley, a este juez no se le permite otorgarle fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County.
En ese caso, una audiencia para pedir fianza sería programada ante un juez del Tribunal Superior del Condado de Clayton.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente usted está bajo libertad condicional, a este juez no se le permite o no está autorizado para fijarle una fianza en estos momentos.
Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Si la fianza es apropiada en su caso, va a ser tomada en consideración nuevamente después que su agente de libertad condicional haya tenido la oportunidad de tomar en consideración este nuevo arresto.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
El propósito de una audiencia preliminar es determinar si hay suficientes pruebas para sustentar las alegaciones en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
El estándar en esta etapa es muy bajo.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Para que un juez decida si un caso procede en esta etapa, solamente tiene que determinar que existe la posibilidad de que el delito fue cometido.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Todos tienen la habilidad de renunciar a su derecho de tener una audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, usted debe de hablar con su abogado primero si usted no está seguro si es apropiado renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si usted paga su fianza, su audiencia preliminar se cancela automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Y usted va a recibir una notificación en la dirección que usted dé de cuándo va a ser su próxima corte.
Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please.
Y finalmente, yo necesito que todos levanten su mano derecha, por favor.
Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Usted jura y afirma que cualquier declaración que usted dé durante este proceso va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad, lo jura ante Dios.
Okay, let's begin with Ms. De Hoyos.
Vamos a comenzar con el señor de Hoyos.
Mr. De Hoyos, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor de Hoyos, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
Sir, you've been charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property.
Señora, usted se le acusa de un cargo de hurto por recibir propiedad hurtada o robada.
This is a misdemeanor charge. Your bond is going to be set at $2,000.
Este es un cargo por delito menor y su fianza va a ser de $2,000.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Su audiencia preliminar va a estar fija para el 12 de octubre a las 8:30 de la mañana, pero esta audiencia se cancela tan pronto usted pague su fianza y salga y usted va a recibir un nuevo citatorio por correo.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Le gustaría a usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
Bien.
Yes.
How much do you make per hour?
¿Cuánto gana usted por hora?
No es fijo mi sueldo, trabajo, pinto por mi cuenta, casas y corto árboles.
I don't have a fixed salary because I work for myself and I cut trees.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Yo encuentro que usted califica, señor, y yo le voy a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente.
Do you have any questions of me?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí?
No, está bien.
No, that's fine.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Ok, señor, puede retirarse.
Gracias.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Señor González.
Sir, you've also been charged with theft by receiving stolen property.
Señora, usted también se le acusa de hurto por recibir propiedad hurtada o robada.
Your bond is also going to be set at $2,000.
Y su fianza también va a ser de $2,000.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201.
Usted va a tener una audiencia preliminar fija para el 12 de octubre a las 8:30 de la mañana en la sala 201.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Le gustaría a usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
Just relax.
Okay, it looks like they're having an issue. Okay, we're ready to continue. I think
It's
you're
muted.
still muted. We can't hear on the men's side. You're still muted.
Lee, you're still muted.
Okay, there we go. Mr. Gonzalez, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Señor González, ¿le gustaría a usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
Uh-oh. I think this is the Friday gremlin.
I think they just lost their connection.
So, Ms. Bermudez, without discussing your plans, do you have plans for the weekend for yourself and your family?
Well, I guess there's nothing to discuss then. 'Cause I don't have
Well, I
any.
mean, not the details, but you can say
No.
yes or no.
Well, I guess what I mean is that I don't have any.
Oh.
No, Judge, do you?
I'm actually in quarantine. Turns out I had COVID, so
Oh, okay.
I'm in quarantine until next week sometime.
Well, I'm glad to see that you are doing well for what it seems to me.
Yes, thank you. I think I coughed out everything last week, and and now this week it's been much better.
That's good. That's good. My daughter had it as well, and she was coughing off the storm for the longest time.
Was she vaccinated?
She had the first shot when she got it,
Okay.
but then her boyfriend had it, and that's how she got it.
Yes, I've had both shots, and I think my youngest child, when he went back to school, he got it and then brought it back to everyone else. But thankfully, other than, fevers, and they've spiked up and down, but it's been pretty much sort of like a sort of a severe cold.
Okay.
or upper respiratory infection type of situation. So that's been
Well,
better than,
than a lot of people.
right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not glad that you have it, but I'm glad that it hasn't been that bad. Like it's been for some folks because.
It is, I think it's until people really get vaccinated and get serious about vaccinations, we're just gonna have this, it's just gonna be like on a repeating loop.
Yes. And that's the issue. I think the problem is that if I get vaccinated, but you don't get vaccinated, then it's like.
Right. And, and it always, the thing that I noticed, because I would primarily take our youngest to school, is the kids would have their mask like down around their chin. They're not wearing the mask up, even though they're required to wear masks. They're not wearing the mask properly.
And that's expected because, they're kids and it is just a difficult situation. I'm fully vaccinated, but to be honest with you, I stay home most of the time.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm not trying to be sick. I'm really not. And I wear my mask everywhere I go.
Right. And, and that's the thing. I'm fully vaccinated and I wear my mask whenever I go out.
Yes, me too.
And that's generally to the grocery store, the gas station. I'm not out trying to
Same here.
And I think it's just something that at some point, if people really take it seriously, we can get this thing taken care of and in control. But until that happens, it's just going to be almost, like the game of telephone, where it's just going to be one message goes to the next person.
Yes.
Okay, we're back up.
Yes, Judge, I'm sorry for the interruption.
No problem. Is Mr. Gonzalez still there?
He's right here.
Mr. Gonzalez, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Señor González, ¿le gustaría a usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado? Yes, sir.
Approximately how much do you make per hour or per month?
Aproximadamente, ¿cuánto gana usted por hora o por mes?
No, yo gano por día, pagan por día, por del día del...
Hey, Deputy, would you turn your radio down, please?
¿Me dijo que usted gana por día?
Sí, me dan pues como a $10, a 10 pesos la hora, o a 9, lo mínimo.
9 o $10 la hora? Okay, it will be per day, and they give me like around $9 to $10 per hour.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Gonzalez?
Usted sí califica, señor, y yo le voy a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente. ¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí, señor González?
Quería saber dónde podría localizar mi mascota que me llevaron ese día.
Quería saber dónde podría.
Saber dónde me llevaron a la mascota, que tenía una doggy. Ese día se la llevaron allá donde se llevan a los doggies, a la carrera, no sé para qué carrera se la hayan llevado.
¿Dónde le llevaron que la troca me dijo?
La doggy, una doggy. Mi dog. Un doggy.
¿Un perro? ¿Un perro?
Sí.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Judge, the interpreter was not understanding what Mr. Gonzalez was saying. He said that he would like to know where they took his dog, if he was taken to the dog pound.
I don't know. If they took the dog, there would probably be some type of notice left at his residence.
Yo no sé Pero si ellos se llevaron su perro, probablemente le van a dejar una notificación en su residencia.
Okay.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Ok, puede retirarse, señor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bermudez. You have a good weekend.
You are welcome, Judge. I hope you get better.
Thank you.
soon.
Yes. Okay, let's switch over to the ladies' side.
Ms. Barr,
Miss Barber, ma'am, you've been charged with one count of filing a fraudulent insurance claim and one count of forgery in the first degree. These are both listed as felony offenses. I am going to set a $5,000 bond on the filing of fraudulent insurance claim charge and a $5,000 bond on the forgery in the first degree. That's going to be a total bond of $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay, you're going to hire your own lawyer, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Ms. David Smith,
Ms. Davis Smith, ma'am, you're charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property, being a stolen vehicle. This is a felony offense. I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Mom.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, ma'am?
No, sir. I'm currently retired. I received disability.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Ms. Dukes,
Ms. Dukes, ma'am, you're charged with one drug offense and three driving-related offenses. You're charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. This is a felony. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're charged with one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. The bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're charged with one count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. And you're going to be charged with one count of having an inoperable brake light or signal light. Bond is going to be set at $500. So you're going to have a total bond set at $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm sorry, October 13th, because the drug charge is a felony charge. October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay. You're going to represent yourself or hire your own lawyer?
I have my own lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. Streeter? Ma'am, you charged with one count. It says failure to exercise due care. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're charged with one count of identity fraud. Bond is going to be set at $5,000, and that's a felony offense. You're going to also be charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license, and the bond is going to be set at $1,500. So you're going to have a total bond of $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Troutman? Are you Ms. Troutman?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged of 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. Bond is going to be set at $1,000, and 1 count of knowingly driving a motor vehicle with a suspended registration. Bond is going to be set at $500. So that's a $1,500 bond. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That they will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Ms. Troutman. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Watkins. Okay, ma'am, you're also charged with theft by receiving stolen property, being a stolen vehicle. I've set your bond at $10,000 because there's a difference between you and the other individual. Ms. Smith, there is an indication that you were in possession of the keys for the vehicle, and that there was a handicap placard that belonged to you that was on the vehicle. So that explains the difference between your bond and her bond. Do you believe you can post this bond, ma'am?
I may be able to.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
That was gonna be all the females, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Let's switch over to the male side.
Mr. Anderson,
Okay. Mr. Anderson, sir, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. Bond is going to be denied at this point. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning. There's also going to be a bond hearing date set for October 15th at 8:30 in the morning. Both are going to be in courtroom 201. I don't have a CAA form for you, a court-appointed form. Were you intending to hire your own lawyer?
No, sir.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Anderson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir.
What's your question, sir?
Why can I get a bond?
Sir, the aggravated assault charge is that you hit some person in the head with the bat. And then when I looked at your criminal history, You have several different battery and criminal trespass and simple battery. Sir, I'm gonna let you speak. Let me speak. You asked me a question, I'm trying to answer it. When I looked at your criminal history, you have several different prior arrests and or convictions for battery, simple battery, criminal trespass. And in this case, you struck someone in the head with a bat. So that leads me to believe that you may be a danger to public safety. And that's why I denied your bond. Okay, now, what is it that you wanted to say, Mr. Anderson?
Sir, that's not necessarily what happened.
Mr. Anderson, I've appointed a lawyer to represent you so you can tell the lawyer about what happened. You asked about why I made my decision, and I explained it to you. I didn't ask you to agree with me.
But sir, I have
Okay.
someone else I can go that's better than you, so I'm not a threat to society. It just didn't happen the way they say it happened, sir.
Okay. Well, Mr. Anderson, I've appointed a lawyer to represent you, and I would encourage you to speak to the lawyer about the facts of the case so that the lawyer can help defend you, okay?
But my only best bet is to make bond, sir.
Do you have any other questions for the judge? Mr.
Okay,
Anderson,
Mr. Anderson, you're free to go back.
go that way. Judge, I'm gonna bring up Mr. Akins.
Okay. Mr. Aiken, sir, you're charged with one count of robbery. Bond is going to be denied at this point because there's an indication that you are on probation or parole. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for October 15th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Butler.
Mr. Butler, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. This is being written as a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a she must steal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a court. You'll get a court notice in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, Mr. Butler. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Bowling.
Okay, Mr. Bowling, sir, you're charged with one count of theft by taking, one count of theft of lost or mislaid property, one count of entering an automobile, one count of theft by receiving stolen property, and one count of criminal trespass. I'm denying bond at this point on the theft by taking, theft of lost or mislaid property, entering an automobile, and theft by receiving stolen property charges. I'm setting a $1,500 bond on the criminal trespass charge. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for October 15th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. Mr. Bowling, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I do, but I'm not currently working right now, so I can't really post that bond because I'm working on getting services in another building, so I'm working to help myself out because I'm not from DC, so I'm from another state. So I'm not really currently working at this point to help step on, so I'm not able to pay that.
Okay, now you've been denied bond on the other charges, so that doesn't really factor into this equation.
Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Your Honor, the next person on the calendar is the fugitive, Mr. Butler.
Let's save them to the end.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
William Christian. William Christian.
is Brian Christian OTB?
He is here, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Christian, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass for an unlawful purpose and 1 count of aggravated assault. I've set a $3,000 bond on the criminal trespass charge. I've set a $15,000 bond on the aggravated assault charge. That leaves a total bond of $18,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir.
You're gonna have a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from an Amari Queen. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived if you're able to bond out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Christian. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
No, sir, not at this time.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Brian Christian.
I thought he was OTB.
No, Your Honor, he's here.
Oh. Okay, sir, you've been charged with 2 driving related offenses. One is driving a vehicle on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. The second offense is looks like speeding or maybe even super speeder. Bond is going to be set at $500. Do you believe you can post this $2,000 bond?
Yes, sir. The bond is already been posted, sir.
It has? Okay. Well, while you're here, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. I'm a higher lawyer, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Clinton.
Mr. Clinton, sir, you're charged with 1 count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. Bond is going to be set at $2,000 for this offense. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. My family can.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Clinton. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir. That's fine.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Mr. Gasman.
Mr. Gaswin, sir, you're charged with 1 count of identity fraud. I cannot set bond on this offense because there's an indication that you're either on probation or parole. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. I'm going to also set a bond hearing date for October 15th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Gaswin. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Garrison.
Mr. Garrison, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of cruelty to children, and 1 count of criminal trespass. I'm going to set a $5,000 bond on the battery charge, a $3,000 bond on the cruelty to children charge, and $3,000 bond on criminal trespass. That's going to leave you with a total bond of $11,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes,
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Jumaya Bingham. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, or you'll get a new court date in the mail. Looks like you earn a little too much per month for me to qualify you for the
oh, but
appointment of a
it's
lawyer.
not steady.
Wait until the judge finished talking.
So what is it that you make per month?
It's not steady. I drive trucks. It's not steady.
Can you put an hourly number on it?
It's per mile.
I'm sorry.
It's per mile, not hourly.
Okay. So can you give me an average?
6,000, 7,000.
That's still a little too much.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna put down here HOA, meaning hire on attorney. But if your financial circumstances change, you can qualify. You can requalify.
Okay.
Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back.
And what was the total again?
$11,000.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Henry?
Mr. Henry, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Calicia Dunton. Do you understand that? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? All right, you're free to go back.
Okay, Judge, the next person is Mr. Harris. He's in a wheelchair, so I'm gonna turn the camera around.
Okay.
All right. Stay there.
Mr. Harris, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Did he say yes?
I said no, sir.
He said no, Your
No.
Honor.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, Mr. Harris. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm gonna turn my camera back around. Mr. Henry?
Mr. Henner, sir, you're charged with one count of simple assault and one count of criminal damage to property in the second degree. I'm going to set a bond at $4,000 on the simple assault charge. There's going to be a bond set at $3,000 on the criminal damage to property in the second degree. There's going to be a total bond set at $7,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Maybe,
Sorry, sir.
and maybe it can get lowered to about $5,000. I might be able to make that. 7,000 is a little too much.
Okay, I'm not gonna lower it, Mr. Henner. There's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Sydney Henner. Do you understand that? The criminal damage to property is a felony offense. So you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure, yes.
Okay, are you currently working, Mr. Henry?
No.
All right, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Can you tell me the total again? So $7,000.
7,000.
All right, thank you.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Patrick?
You, Mr. Infantry?
Yes,
I'm sorry. Okay, sir, you're charged with 1 count of giving false name, address, or date of birth. The bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Could the bond be lowered?
No, sir.
All right.
All right, free to go back.
Mr. Jackson?
Mr. Jackson, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Could you pull your mask up for me, please, sir? Thank you. You're going to have a $3,000 bond set on the criminal trespass charge, and you're going to have a $5,000 bond set on possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Your total bond is going to be set at $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Let's see. I don't see, did you fill out a court-appointed attorney form?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently, I'm sorry?
It was done late, man, so we did better job.
Okay. Are you currently working, Mr. Jackson?
No, sir.
All right, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, Your Honor, about that second charge, I mean, I must admit, Your Honor, I didn't think it's coming out of the room or anything like that. But I was only there a couple of minutes. And when I came.
Sir, do not discuss your case.
So, Mr. Jackson, I think I understand where you're going as it relates to this charge. Mr. Jackson, at this stage, this is not the time to determine whether you're guilty or innocent. It's where to the allegations, to inform you of the allegations. I would encourage you to speak to your lawyer about this, because you may be able to get a favorable outcome as it relates to that charge. Okay, I generally, I'll set the bond higher on a theft by, possession of firearm by a convicted felon. But I do recognize, I think, what you're trying to say, okay?
Yes.
All right, you're free to go back, sir.
Mr. Jenkins?
Mr. Jenkins, sir, you're charged with 1 count of running a red light, 1 count of driving a vehicle on a suspended license, 1 count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon, 1 count of obstructing or hindering a law enforcement officer, and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I've set a bond on all of these offenses. You're gonna have a $500 bond set on running a red light, a $1,500 bond set on driving on a suspended license, $5,000 bond set on possession of firearm by a convicted felon, $2,000 bond set on obstructing or hindering a law enforcement officer, and a $1,500 bond set on possession of marijuana less than an ounce. So your total bond is going to be set at $10,150. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 13th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Jenkins. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Can you repeat the total of the bond again?
You know, make me do math on a Friday morning,
I apologize.
Mr. Jenkins. Okay, so possession of marijuana less than an ounce should be 1,500. So let's see, 279. It should be $10,500. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Free to go back, sir.
Mr. Murphy?
Mr. Murphy, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. This being written as a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, a stay away from is it Deasia Walker?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm not sorry, I do it on the side.
Okay, do you have any questions of me?
I'll be all right.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Call.
Mr. McCaw, sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia seatbelt law and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. You're gonna have a $500 bond set on the seatbelt offense and a $1,500 bond set on possession of marijuana less than an ounce. These are both misdemeanors. Your total bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you do qualify, Mr. McCaw. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Onoha?
Okay, sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence, and 1 count of criminal damage to property. And they're both being written as misdemeanors. So you're gonna have a $4,000 bond set on the simple battery charge and a $3,000 bond set on the criminal trespass damage to property charge. So that's gonna be a total bond set at $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're gonna have a stay away provision on the bond, a stay away from a Georgina. Is it Aniwa?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand that? The stay away provision?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Now, I'm gonna let you ask that question in a second, okay? Let me get through this little part. Your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. You're gonna also.
I'm still not sure about that.
I'm sorry. Apparently Siri wants to get in on the conversation. Your preliminary
I'm
hearing.
not sure I understand.
Jesus Christ. I don't know. I guess Siri likes you. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. So both me and Siri cut you off. So would you ask me the question you were going to ask me?
Family provision. In the same household, so I don't know how that can be arranged.
Okay, so I guess I'll start with this. Nobody wants to be in your life. For some reason, the police got called into your life, and that led to your being arrested and brought before me. Because no one wants to be in your life, no one wants to come back into your life. So we place a stay away provision on the bond because you're bonding out today. And we don't want whatever led to your appearing before me today to flare back up this evening. And then you're facing aggravated stalking charges and you're sitting in jail. So we place a stay away provision on the bond so that whatever happened can cool out. I need you to look at me, sir. I need to make sure that you're paying attention, okay? Whatever happened can change. I don't know the extent of whatever took place. If your wife is not afraid of you, she can contact the solicitor's office and say, hey, I'm not afraid of him. This was something that just got blown out of proportion. We want you to change the stay away provision. And then they will look into it with their investigators. And they will decide whether this is something that got overblown or if this is something that the police arrived just before somebody was killed. They will make that determination. And then based upon what they decide, they may say, look, let's lift this provision. As a judge, I don't care. If they say lift the provision, I'm going to lift the provision. But they're going to look into it. So what you have to understand is that is the process that both you and your wife have interjected into your lives. Mr. Look, when you look away, it seems to tell me that you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I'm listening, sir. That's not my wife.
Who is this?
My mom.
Hold on. You said it's your daughter?
My mother.
Your mother. Okay. So your mother will be the person that has to make that determination. Okay. So other than the wife and mother thing, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you have any questions about it? If you do, ask me. I'm here to answer questions.
The the second charge. $1,000 damage to property.
The criminal damage to property. Hold on, let me put my glasses on. So so the allegation is that your mother had an iPhone 5 that fell out of her hand and was damaged. And there's an allegation that you pushed her out of the door. So that's where the criminal trespass charge comes in. Okay. Do you have any other questions?
My last question is trespass. The address is on my license. It's my residential.
Okay. So I don't know how long this is gonna last. I don't know if your mother plans on kicking you out of this residence or whatever. I don't know, but if there's a change, if there's a permanent change of residence, you're gonna have to change your license. But the thing that I need you to understand. Did you just turn 30?
Sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, as an adult, police shouldn't be called to your house. And when the police are called to your house as an adult, you're basically putting other adults in charge of your life. And to the extent that you want to do what you want to do when you want to do it, any arguments or disagreements with anyone, it is always in your best interest as an adult to walk away. Because when you don't, you're going to bring other adults potentially into your life. Okay? Any other questions, sir? So when you're bonding out, you're going to need to make arrangements with the sheriff's department so that you can come and get some of your items out of the house so that you can live your life until this issue is resolved, okay? Do you understand that, sir? All right. Any other questions? All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Smith? I'm asking.
Is Mr. Price OTB?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Smith, sir, you're charged with 1 count of theft by deception. This is being written as a misdemeanor. The bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for October 12th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I noticed you did not fill out the CAA form. Is your intent to represent yourself or hire your own lawyer?
I'm not sure I understand.
No, Your Honor, he was one person who got here very late.
Okay, well, I have a copy of the form, but it's blank. He did sign it, but it's blank. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer, Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Are you currently working, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, you're free to go back.
I have one question. I was trying to see where a lawnmower was stolen from.
I'm sorry?
I was trying to see where did I steal a lawnmower from?
Okay, so the allegation is that there's a lawnmower pond at Cash America Pond in looks like it was in Forest Park. Out of Steelwood, looks like Steelwood Cove is the street.
Steelwood Cove?
Yes, sir.
Is that a street?
Yes, sir. In Forest Park. I'm not going to give the complete address over the internet. So your lawyer will have access to these documents and you'll get the complete information, but I'm not going to share that information over the internet.
Okay.
Any other question?
Okay. All right, you're free to go back, sir.
Mr. Speed?
Mr. Speed, you're charged with 1 count of speeding and 1 count of driving a vehicle on a suspended license. There's going to be a $500 bond set on the speeding charge. There's going to be a $1,500 bond set on the driving on the suspended license charge for a total bond set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I already did, sir.
I'm just
Okay.
working on the process.
Okay, while you're here, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, you can, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, my comment is misdemeanor, right?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way I can get time off? Or I gotta go? Like, I don't know what's going on with my bond. I've been paid since yesterday at 8 o'clock.
So if you've paid the bond, the way that I describe this process is like, this is like a big old ocean liner in the ocean, and we just can't turn on a dime like a speedboat. So your bond is one that's set by schedule, which means it's automatically set. So there may have already been arrangements made for your bond posted, but it just fit within a gray area where the deputies were in the position where they had to pull everybody down for first appearance. So it was probably in a gray area when you got pulled. So when you go back, you're probably going to get a knock on the door, tell you to pack your stuff.
Okay, but is it, because I already did my 2 phone calls for you? Is it some way I can make another phone call?
I don't know. You're gonna have to speak to the deputies, but if your bond has been posted, they're gonna come and get you.
Okay, yes, because it been done since yesterday. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back.
Right, I'll bring up Mr. Burrows.
Okay. Mr. Burrows, sir, you have the same rights and privileges that apply to everyone else, but you're in a slightly different category. You're being listed as what's called a fugitive from justice. And all that means is that there is a warrant for your arrest out of another state. And in your situation, it looks like it's out of Minnesota Department of Corrections. There's a warrant for your arrest for a parole violation. So, has anyone spoken to you about this yet?
Yes, I signed I thought I had signed a waiver, but this looked totally different as I'm looking at it now. My parole officer came to us, Clayton County, and I signed some papers waiving a parole hearing. So now I thought I was just waiting for Minnesota to come get me.
Okay, so is it your desire to sign a waiver?
Yes, would that be considered me giving permission for Minnesota to come get me, or?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so they have the waiver paperwork there. You sign the waiver paperwork and they'll send it to me and I'll sign it. And then that'll be the official part on our end. And then when did your parole officer come to see you?
She came I want to say about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then this will be the last thing that has to happen before you can be officially released from Clayton County.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, it's been a drawn out situation. I'm like, man, I was wondering when it was gonna come get me. And I was in contact with the interstate compact in Minnesota, and he was basically saying that he was waiting on permission. I guess this is the actual permission, am I correct?
Yes, sir. Did you have any pending case here?
Yeah, I got a failure to register, but I ended up bailing out.
Okay, so that would have been a thing that triggered this. Because as long as you have charges pending here, the extradition part doesn't kick in.
I want to read it before, make sure I didn't make a mistake. Could you repeat that again, Your Honor?
So if you have pending charges here, you're technically being held on the charges here. And so once you are bond out or you dispose of your case here, then that's when the fugitive warrant kicks in.
Okay. So after I sign this, this is gonna get sent out today. And how long will it take? I mean, I know it can take up to 30 days, but
My basic answer is really the basic truthful answer, because I don't work for them or with them up in Minnesota. They can come tomorrow, they can come day 29.
okay.
I have no idea. The people in the fugitive department, because they deal with different agencies on a consistent basis, they have more of an understanding of who comes when, right? Because they experience it on a daily basis. I don't.
All right, so, but this paperwork will get submitted today and it will be prompt.
Yes, they are going to come and get you, or they're going to risk you walking out the front door.
Okay. All right, I appreciate it, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Okay, Judge, that concludes what for today. And I do apologize for that technical difficulty.
Oh, I know you just want to haze me a little bit on a Friday afternoon.
No, Your Honor, I will never do that.
Okay, well, have a great weekend.
Thank you. You do the same.
Thank you
sir.
for your help.